My name is Lillian Roth. I'm a junior from Montgomery, Alabama, majoring in public relations and political science with a minor in social innovation and leadership through the University Fellows experience. I was inaugurated as SGA president in April of 2016. I've learned that representing 37,000 people is definitely the hardest job I've ever had to do, and I think one of the hardest jobs on campus, but it's so important that you remember the perspectives and the experience that each student brings to the table. One of the main pillars of my platform last year for SGA President was the creation of the President's Council. And my idea behind that was the opportunity to bring the president of every student organization to the table to share our ideas and our vision for campus as student leaders. I think that you can only be as strong as the voices that you represent. So if you can't have those perspectives and ideas behind you, you're never going to be able to implement tangible solutions to the problems. After several conversations, we established the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Resource Team, which is a group of faculty and administrators that serve as a resource and a liaison for students that feel marginalized, discriminated against, or excluded from our campus in any way, so they could have an outlet of someone that was able to look out for them until the appointment of the Chief Diversity Officer. You know, someone looking at my resume or seeing me on the quad might think the high points are when I got elected as SGA president or when I was selected as my sorority recruitment chair. Genuinely, the high points of my time here have been the one-on-one conversations I've had with people when I'm able to firsthand see the impact that SGA has made in their lives or that the President's Council has made in their lives. Hopefully, after graduation, I can work in DC on the Hill. My dream job is to be a press secretary or communications director, hopefully for a senator or president one day. I love the combination of public relations and political science, so any variation of the such, I think it's really interesting to be on the PR side of the politician, not the policy and the legislation. I mean, that's important, of course, but I think how you present it is almost more important. My vision for UA is one in which every student's voice is heard and opinion is respected. And having the opportunity this year to improve intergroup relations has been such an amazing experience. And I'm truly honored to be able to receive the William P. Bloom Award this year.
My name is Lizzy Emerson. I'm the graduate assistant for the Safe Zone Resource Center. I'm originally from Conway, Arkansas, but currently I'm doing a PhD in higher ed administration in the education department, and my research focuses on LGBTQ outreach and student affairs work. Safe Zone is comprised of several parts. We have a resource center where our goal is to provide educational outreach options and services and resources to faculty and staff. But within the context of that, we also do crisis intervention for students. We have a student lounge right next door to the Safe Zone Resource Center, and that lounge is primarily a space for students to come and relax and study, but also to build communities. We have over 2,000 campus allies, and you can recognize a campus ally because they'll have one of our Safe Zone stickers on their door. We also do an ally training program, and so that is a program designed for students, faculty, and staff. It's a 3-hour seminar in which we teach members of the University of Alabama community what it means to be a good ally for the LGBTQ population. And within the context of that, we do information about different identities and challenges and strengths of different parts of the LGBTQ community, as well as providing people with information about how to identify and report harassment and discrimination on campus. We have a Safe Zone supervisor who's a full-time staff member, and Safe Zone is a portion of what he does. We also have an advisory board that meets once a month. We have a training committee that helps us design and assess our ally training program and our educational outreach. We also have a training team that's primarily volunteer-run and volunteer-led. This year, our office has logged over 2,000 campus allies over the course of our program. We've trained over 3,000 people in the UA community. We've logged over 500 office visits. 16 of those have been crisis related. We currently have 24 volunteers who are working very hard to make UA a better place, and we're very honored to receive this award.
I'm Chris Lancaster, a senior from Plano, Texas. I'll be graduating in May and earning my bachelor's in economics and French and my master's in economics. Attending the University of Alabama wasn't really something I thought I would be doing early on in my senior year of high school, and Finding a way to get involved at UA as a steward and being able to share my experiences at UA with prospective students in their senior years of high school has been phenomenal, because I get to help, quell any fears or last-minute worries about attending college at Alabama, and that really makes me happy every time I get to share my experiences. One of my favorite things that I've done in the Tuscaloosa community is volunteered through Junior Achievement of Tuscaloosa County. It's such a great opportunity to be able to go into an elementary classroom setting and teach fourth graders actually about entrepreneurship, which is very in line with the work that I've done obviously in my academics as a business student. And so it's really cool to be able to see little kids light up learning about business. My most exciting and biggest role as a leader on campus has been being the president of the Culverhouse Connections program on our student leadership board that we have. And through this program, we host events for students in the business school to meet employers and better their soft skills. And then we also have a mentoring component of the program that pairs students in the Culverhouse College of Commerce with alums and friends of the university in a professional setting, and allows them to learn from them about things that are going on in a professional sense after you graduate. After receiving my degrees in May, I'll be moving to Atlanta to work in banking in the corporate world, and I eventually, though, can really see myself coming back to higher ed and potentially working in some sort of student affairs capacity, be it within career services, alumni, or recruitment, because that has meant so much to my time here at UA, and I really would love to be able to give back at some point. As Morris Mayer inspired and impacted so many faculty, staff, and students during his time here at UA, I have been so inspired and impacted, and I'm so honored to receive an award that's associated with such an amazing man.
I'm Katrina, Nell. I'm in the Department of Biological Sciences. I'm the Associate Chair here in the department, and I handle all the academic matters for our over 1,500 majors now. I have a set of advisees, probably about 60 that are formally assigned to me, and then I just see pretty much anybody that comes in the door. 2 faculty members who taught biochemistry in our department retired at exactly the same time. Many of our students are pre-med or pre-health, and they absolutely must have biochemistry on their transcript to go on to medical school, dental school. I knew we didn't have anybody to do it. In my background, I taught cell biology, I taught biochemistry, and so I said, well, I'm willing to take it on, I'm willing to do it. It has really worked out for the best. It's been great. The importance of our research is really engineering crop plants to be more resistant to disease so that we can increase crop yield. And that's to meet the food demands of a growing world population. This is one of the top priorities for plant biologists in the 21st century. We want plants to be naturally resistant to disease so that we don't have to use chemicals, pesticides, herbicides in the field. There's negative consequences to that. My hobby is cooking, and it is a natural outgrowth of my research in the lab. My kitchen does become a little lab. At home, I can experiment with different cuisines. I learn a lot about different cultures through learning about their food, and I'm interested in learning about different cultures and different languages. I'm very honored to receive the Mayer Award. Dr. Mayer had a huge impact on students, guiding them throughout their careers. He was a great teacher, he was a great mentor. I hope that I can do those things. Teaching, being in the lab with my students, doing advising, just interacting with students is really the highlight of my job. And I hope that I can certainly follow in his footsteps in the years to come.
My name is Charlotte Waters. I'm from Tucson, Arizona, and I'm a junior double majoring in history and political science. I had just a wonderful history professor who really grabbed my attention and really got me into the department. I basically went up to him and I said, I really like this. What else can I do? And he said, well, we have a tutor program. I think you'd be really good at it. You should come to these different meetings. Let me introduce you to other faculty, other students that are really involved. My high school really encouraged collaboration and mentoring one another. It was kind of a natural progression into these programs that UA offers, which is like the peer mentor department with the history program, the 5th grade outreach program here at the Honors College. So for me, it was just kind of a natural next step into something I really enjoy doing. With the 5th graders, we have a series of little games and exercises that teach basic core values. We'll give them a little fake budget and they can go buy different little fake things, you know. We'll give them $20 and say you can spend it on this one $20 item or 4 $5 items, and it teaches them budgeting, and it's mostly just fun. Travel is without a doubt one of my most favorite things to do because it makes me wholly myself. I feel like I'm entirely Charlotte when I'm out and traveling and totally receptive to new experiences, new cultures. I would like to continue my history education here at UA with the thought of ultimately attending law school to do something with human rights, international rights. I'm incredibly excited to take the Great Ideas tour, which I know was inspired by Dr. Ramsey's class, The Great Ideas of Western Civilization. I think it's going to be an unprecedented, amazing opportunity for me to take my own tour of the Great Ideas of Western Civilization this summer. I would just like to say how incredibly grateful I am to the history department for, of course, for the award, but also for just all of the opportunities they provided me on campus, all of the academic exploration that I've had, and all of the personal growth that I've had thanks to the UA History Department.
My name is Justin McGrath. I am a senior majoring in chemical engineering with minors in mathematics and computer-based honors, and I'm from Mandeville, Louisiana. I think the University of Alabama has provided a great atmosphere for learning. One of the most important parts throughout my time here has been with my PI, Dr. Kim. He's allowed me to really take on my project, have a lot of independence, and I think that's allowed me to grow as a researcher and will help me a lot in my future. One publication our lab submitted that I'm a co-author on this past December, and then I have 2 publications in the works. One is a review paper that I just summarize other papers and make conclusions about those. And another one I've been working on for the past 3 years, studying glioblastoma and cancer stem cells. Gene therapy really piqued my interest my sophomore year in college, where I had a fellowship at the Tulane Primate Center involving gene therapy research. And what really interests me is the large potential it has. The ability to cure numerous diseases, including sickle cell anemia, cystic fibrosis, that affects millions of people, not only in the US, but worldwide. Academic medicine is the field of medicine where you're not only seeing patients, but also involved in research. I would like to run a lab doing basic science research, see patients a few days a week, and then also be in charge of some clinical trials. And I'd really like to help translate the basic science to the patients. Probably my primary engagement outside of academics is kayaking. I'm currently the president of the Alabama Kayak Club. So we do whitewater kayaking all across the Southeast. I joined as a freshman and then just really fell in love with it. Pretty advanced, and I really enjoy teaching other people the skills that I've learned. I first learned about the Randall family's contributions to the University of Alabama my sophomore year when I was awarded with the Outstanding Undergraduate Research Award. Once again, I have been honored with such a great award, the Catherine J. Randall Premier Award, and I would like to thank the Randall family for their continued support of the university.
I'm Carolyn Morrison. I'm a senior from Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm currently double majoring in economics and finance with a minor in social innovation. I would say the motto for my life is offered as worship, which means all that I do I'm not accountable just to myself for, but every role is accountable to the Lord, and that means it's accountable to everyone on the planet with me. Because in every role, every system, every relationship, all of my decisions, my involvements, my efforts, my desires don't just affect myself, and I'm not the only person accountable to them. My involvement in Marion really started on campus in Tuscaloosa. I got involved with Forza Financial, which is a microfinance institute that empowers entrepreneurs. And through the University Fellows Program, I sought to expand that to the Black Belt of Alabama through some strategic loans, and was able to do that by building partnerships with local community members. That was a really exciting moment and kind of a culminating moment from something that started from a small passion on campus and was able to see a widespread impact. Thailand was one of the most interesting and hard and rewarding experiences of my life. I was interning for JOMA, which is an international coffee company, and I was working in the strategy division. Their kind of under wraps mission is helping women and transgender individuals transition out of Thailand's billion-dollar sex industry and into alternative forms of meaningful employment through education and job training, counseling. My role was to figure out how our coffee operations can best support that, and spent a lot of time in Pattaya, which is essentially the sex trading capital of the world, talking to the various prostitutes and figuring out what needs were not being met and what really was making the sex industry their best option to stay in, and what were the biggest fears in leaving it. I've always loved heights. It's always been kind of like my clear space of thinking, and skydiving just kind of literally took that to the next level. Can be an adrenaline junkie at points and have enjoyed that hobby. After graduation, I'll be moving to Dallas, Texas, where I will be an incoming analyst for Capital One, working on strategy projects. I really am so thankful to be receiving this award. It's a high honor, but I feel like it's not just being given to me, it's being given to so many faces who have really helped me and made my fears a lot smaller and my dreams a lot bigger, and challenged me and walked with me through every step of the way.
I'm Faulkner Hanford. I'm a senior majoring in political science and interdisciplinary studies with minors in French and social innovation and leadership. Also pursuing a master's in applied economics through the University Scholars Program. My personal philosophy regarding service, it's an important thing in anyone's life to have something greater to live for. Doing service, they're like, oh, that person must be spending so much time, they must be such a great person because they're doing service. Well, often it's interesting. Service is very beneficial to the people that are serving as well as it is to the people that are receiving the service as well. I tried out for CAPSA Men and Women my freshman year during the spring. I was fortunate to be able to go through that process and be accepted, and it's been a really incredible opportunity for me. As a university fellow, I had the opportunity to work with a variety of other students from around the country on service projects here at the University of Alabama. A variety of things we do as fellows is learn about systemic poverty, what causes poverty, and ways that it can be alleviated, and we try to apply those into the Tuscaloosa community as well as the state of Alabama at large, and take our experiences with us on to the next step after we graduate college. My aim with the documentaries I'm shooting is to be able to capture a piece of history that'll be extremely relevant to people of our generation and to people of the next generation. By shooting the stories of people who lived in the time of events that happened 50 or 60 years ago, I hope to preserve those on camera, preserve their stories so that they can be seen by our generation and future generations as well. I've had the opportunity to play on the women's basketball practice squad as well, which is a group of guys that scrimmages our women's players to help make them better and prepare them for their games each season. It's been really awesome for me, as well as I hope for the team, to make better our women's players and our women's basketball team. The opportunities the University of Alabama has given me have been extremely influential in my development as a person, and I hope I've been able to help and serve others in my time here and give back a little bit to the community that has given so much to me as well. And I'm very honored to receive this award.
My name is Norman Baldwin. I'm a professor in the Department of Political Science, where I've been the director of the Master of Public Administration program for about 17 years. And I've been at the University of Alabama for 29 years now. I am both a feminist and a minority activist, and I'm basically the white male heterosexual that is recurrently invited to advocate and give voice for women and minorities, and I'm extremely flattered to play that role. Essentially, when the tornado hit Tuscaloosa, I was like a lot of people, I wanted to contribute. former student of mine called me and asked if I knew of any students that would work in the disaster relief effort in an internship program. And this spurred the idea of essentially developing a great, big, large outreach to students to work in internships. And we reached out to faculty, we reached out to students, and we essentially put 210 students in internships where they would also receive credit through being paired up with a faculty member. Two general areas where I'm most proud of what we achieved, and one is working towards the racial integration of the Greek system. And I'm thrilled at this stage to see, for example, that there are 104 African Americans now in the traditionally white Greek system. Progress that we made in making student government more open and fair. We have many more people that have the opportunity to serve in offices that we created in the olden days, a set of vice presidents, for example, that didn't exist, that now mirror the vice presidents of the university. So, but there are probably 25 different things we have done essentially to make student government more fair and accessible to all students. I didn't get to do music when I was younger. 9 years ago, a group of 4 faculty members put together a band. It's been just great fun to kind of re-experience our youthful interest in music. I couldn't do anything without the support of all sorts of committee members. I couldn't do anything without the invitation to participate. I couldn't have accomplished anything without extremely cooperative people in Rhodes administration. In many ways, this is an award that I may be receiving, but so many other people that I've worked with should be receiving, or in my mind, they're receiving it also.